Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Farming Simulator 19 here in Boulder Canyon. We're just going to unload this load right here. And I'm going to go like that, and I'm going to show the unloading position there. So that we've got that one lined up correctly. We want to bring that over there like that. So if I can get that one lined up just spot on, or roughly spot on, with those right in the middle there, I'm hoping that's going to be about right. So there, I can unload that one. There we go. Ideal. Right, that will unload everything onto there. I can get rid of that line as well. And then, once that's all unloaded, we can then turn the lorry round and we can start loading it back up again. And hopefully, we will have all of our massive, great big quantity. Okay, it's not actually unloading those. I'm hoping that those 3 logs in there are going to be in the right position, because it doesn't want to unload them. It doesn't seem to recognize that they're in there for some strange reason. Not quite sure. And that one's moved, so that's no good to us at all. If it's moved, it's going to be in the wrong position completely, so unloading isn't working. So let me try loading a second. Turn that off and then unload. No. Alright, let me try sliding it the other way. Like that. There we go. Right, so if I back that up, I'll put the straps on a minute. Like that, and I'll do that again, and I'll get those logs to slide forward. So we'll do that, and then start accelerating. Like this. And then brake hard. No, it's stuck up against the bar now. That's no good. Right, why aren't you unloading then? I wonder if maybe I need to get a little bit more timber on. So what I'll do is, if I go from this side over here, look. I bring that around there. Just like that. So it's roughly in line for being able to unload in a minute anyway. Turn that back round there like that. There. That's about right, I think. That's roughly in the middle. We need to change sides. And then... Right, the unloading is definitely not working. So I'm going to go with loading instead, like that. And I'm going to stop. And now I'm going to unload. Right, it's taking... It's not... Why? Why are you not recognizing these bits of timber here? I'm not really quite sure. I will be able to use this one here, I believe, to shove that up, except that it was stuck against here, wasn't it? That was the issue that I was having, so I need to kind of get that and push it up like that. Bring it round here like this. Right, it does sort of work like this sometimes, but not always. No, it's not going to work at the moment. Right, well, I'll drag that one out there and I'll drop it down. So that one log is slightly in the wrong position. So I come back in here and I'll try unloading again. Not going to work. There's only the one there. You know what? Let's not worry about that. Let's There's got to be a way to do it, isn't there? Wait, what's that? Oh. You can move it in. I didn't even know you could do that. I didn't even know that was a thing. You can move the joint further back if you want to. Genuinely had no idea that was even a thing. Right. Is it gonna... no, it's absolutely not having it with the unloading. Okay, I will go to 2 piles like that, and unloading is still not working. So we'll just leave it like that. We've got 2 piles on here, and I'll start loading. So I'll put those on there. Just going to stay perfectly still right where I am. And they're loading all right. I know that I've got that one log sticking out there, and that is going to cause me a problem when it switches over and starts loading the next layer, like that. But it's not so much of an issue that it's going to, like, really, really cause us problems. It's a little bit of an issue there. But overall, things are pretty good with it. And it's stopped the loading for a minute. Okay, now I'm going to... Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put the straps on before I do anything else. Then I'm going to back up. Now, we got to remember not to go too fast as well. I've already noticed that going even just a little bit too fast could cause us some serious problems. So I'll bring that one up to there, like that. And then I'll take those straps off again, and I'll go back to loading. Now, we're loading at the rear at the moment. And that's loaded pretty well. So then I want to... Now, I can't remember how to manually switch between piles. Another pad... Full stop. Okay. I'll do that. And that's auto-loaded a couple of the bits. I had a few more logs that I can put onto that one. I want to switch over to the front. Another log or two. So I've got the whole lot on there now. Everything is all loaded up. It's a little bit suspect on some of it here. Like, there's a couple of logs here that aren't quite loaded properly. And the straps aren't even grabbing hold of all. Or they've now got hold of them. The straps have now secured them all. And as I actually forgot to put the timescale up just for that loading session there, I will start off by, just while we drive over to the mill, we'll just have the timescale up for that, so that we are actually doing it. It's already gone 2 o'clock. We need to make sure that we do this today. We've got to get this over and sold and then buy our new tractor today, or we're going to lose another $8,000 with our loan repayments, which means that we're then going to have to go and do a load more timber cutting in order to make up for that. I mean, we're going to have to do a load more timber cutting anyway, but we've got the grass. We've now got the ability to be able to do things completely automatically with the baling. Like, there's a couple of little bits that we can't do automatically, but most of it we now can, which is absolutely fantastic. I love that we can do that. Now I'll bring you on round over this way. Up through here. And then we need to do the big swing round here. And then get up right into the middle. I'm reasonably confident that we will be able to squeeze in here with 2 trailers. It's not guaranteed, admittedly, but I'm reasonably confident that we will be able to do this. Now, the other thing that I wanted to try was unloading the timber. Unload it here first and then sell it. So I'm going to bring it over to here like this. And put it there like that. And then I'm just going to show the unloading position. I'm going to bring this, because we normally just sell this straight off. I'm not going to have the 30 times speed. I think we've done that enough. I need to swap sides like that and take the straps off and then start unloading. So it takes from both heaps when it does the unloading. I can remove that. It does bounce them around a little bit at times, but generally speaking, it's pretty good. So just keep doing this until all of that timber is unloaded. We'll also see if those logs at the bottom at the front are actually going to unload or not. Obviously, they didn't last time, but maybe now that we've reloaded everything and it's looking a little bit different, maybe they will behave themselves a bit. I suspect what we're actually going to have to do is... No, it's now even worse than it was last time, because I've now got extra logs here that haven't done it properly. And I suspect that not all of these are in the sell point either. Not quite. Well, we got $43,000 already. So I'll bring that one log over there. And I'll bring it over here. What I'm actually going to do is I'll switch that loading side, and then I'll load like that. So we can put that piece of timber in there. And I'll bring that over here like this. Stop the loading like that. Get out. And so we've got 43,000 so far. There's another 3,500 there. So that makes 46,000. And then this bit over here, 48,000. Well, we started with 150 grand. We got 199 now. So we're a fraction shy of making an actual $50,000 load. I'd say that was pretty good. That was pretty successful, especially considering that our aim was 40,000. And so we've managed to get 80,000. Sorry, not 80,000. We've managed to get 50,000 rather than the original target of 40. I'd say that was a reasonably successful move. I'll bring you up to there, and we're going to park you there again. That's going to be your parking spot for a little while. We are going to go to the shop over here. I don't know if we're going to actually get the delivery done from the shop. I might just drive it back myself. I quite like the idea of just taking it for a little spin as we go through. I don't want that. I want this one. We want to go to medium tractors in here. We want to go all the way up through. Puma Series, 188,000. Now, we'll go with the standard wheels at the moment. We've got with the Trelleborg wheels. Wheel setup, we could go with something like that. It's an extra 6 grand for those. 1,000 for those. Wide tires and weights is 3 grand. Standard wide tires is 2,000. Now, wide tires would probably be a very good idea because we're going to have soil compaction issues otherwise. When you start getting tractors this size, it's something that you do need to take into consideration. It's 190,000. We've got the money for that. So we'll buy that with wide tires as standard. Oops. Not back. Wheel weights, wide tires. That's what we want. And Nokian or Trelleborg. Wrong way. Wheel weights, wide tires. So there, wide tires like that with the standard Trelleborg tires. 190,000 and buy. Okay, that is spot on perfect. Now, if I come back out of there a second, I want to go to that one, and we're going to go into here, and we're looking for, we'll go with the Agco rather than anything else, because that will fit the beastie that we've just gone and bought, and we are going to be a little bit vain here this time. We're going to color match for an extra $100. I'll buy that one right there. So it's 2,150 for that one. There's nothing else that we want to get with it at the moment. It's just this one and the front weight to go with it. And that, we're not always going to be using the front weight. Sometimes we'll want to use the front weight, sometimes we won't. But, yeah, I think overall, this is not a bad addition to the fleet. Look at it! Look at this thing! Isn't it beautiful? Is that not a creature of beauty right there? Hang on. I'm going to do that. You know what I'm doing right now, don't you? You know exactly what I'm doing right now. Right. Finished doing what I'm doing right there. We're going to drive this one back ourselves. Just because I want to. And because I can. And because this one is way, way faster than that Deutz. Now we're talking. Look at this. Oh, this is much better. This is much better. Look at that beastie. Oops, no, I want to go that way. Oh. I gotta stop doing that. I really that's like, I think every new vehicle that I have purchased from that shop, I have gone straight out and driven it into a tree. It's probably not the best way to do things. But it's fine. We hit it with the front weight, so maybe there's been a little bit of paint scratched off the front of the front weight, but other than that, it's absolutely tickety-boo. There is no problems with it whatsoever. Now, we've got a choice. We can go back and do more timber felling. We've not got very much left to do, admittedly. It's just that little cluster of trees right in the middle. Or we could go and do a little bit of work with this one. And it's the engine roar as it goes up the hill. It does sound pretty cool. I'm kind of thinking that we get this one here, we take the stump grinder and we go and start clearing a few of the stumps in the new field. And then once we've done that, once we've dealt with a few of the stumps in the new fields, we'll come back to next week and we'll do just clear off the last of those trees that we want to clear and do a few other jobs as well. There's well, I guess really our next target is... I'd like a shed. I'd like somewhere to start putting the machinery under cover. That is one thing I'd like to do. we're also going to want to be looking at a combine and things like that. So we've got these trees here. It's not going to take long to get rid of those. The two around this big rock here aren't going to be moved. They're kind of marking the edge of the field anyway. Trying to decide how the best way to... Skidding to a halt down there. The field will do kind of in a straight line down through there, but yeah, I really wish that rock wasn't there. I also wish that one over there wasn't there either. It is a little bit of a nuisance, but still, I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it's absolutely fine. Grass is going to take a minute or two. We're not going to have grass ready for cutting today. Oh, I did say I was going to, like, start putting the machinery away. We're going to wash it, we're going to put it away and do things like that. So now I'm torn between doing what I said I was going to do and doing the other thing I want to do, which is get the stump grinder going, because I want to see how well this one copes with the stump grinder. We'll start off with doing a quick bit of cleaning. We'll clean off the baler at least, and we'll give this one a service. So I'll bring you over here. Put you up there. We've got a little bit of grass in for the sheep. We're going to do something with that in a minute. Let's get you up there and get that one all polished off like this. And now that we've got a permanent front loader tractor, it's going to make life a lot easier for going through and dealing with, well, just dealing with day-to-day with the sheep and with the other animals as well once we start purchasing more animals. It's definitely going to make a bit of a difference, having all of them like that. Clean you off completely like that. Back into there. And then jump into you. Now, this one, I'm just going to drag it over here a second, and I'm going to park it here on the edge. This is not going to be our final spot. And also, we've got that cultivator there. Now, we used the cultivator to plow up the original fields, but it doesn't remove the need for plowing. It just creates the field. It doesn't actually count it as being plowed. I'm going to leave that one. I'm going to go straight with the stump grinding. Now, we've cleaned off a little bit. Oh, service. If I did that. I did say I was going to. We'll run this one over. I'm not sure. Probably won't need very much, to be honest, because we didn't do all that much baling with it. We only had, like, a trailer load of bales out of this bad boy, but, you know, that one's got nothing at all on it. But actually, that's more than I thought. $340 there. Okay, all clean, all done. Now we'll run you back round and we'll do something with you. We're going to keep that dolly there because we may end up wanting it. I would prefer to have a dolly that's got a twin axle on it for running our timber around. And I will look into that. I'm going to bring this one in here like this. And I'm going to park you there. Right, that one is now done. That is fully cleaned. It is fully serviced. It is fully ready to go. On that note, it might be prudent if we just made sure that this one over here was also fully serviced. Even if we don't... Actually, you know what? I'm going to clean it. As I'm over here and I'm doing this, I will also clean it. So I will go to there and repair that one as well. Good job I did. It is a good job I did. Then I will reverse you over here to the wash station and we will clean you up as well. Then... and only then will we get our stump grinder on and go and do some stump grinding. I won't clean the stump grinder before we start, but I will... Let's bring that one out round there like that. I will service the stump grinder before we start, just in case it's getting a little bit of damage and could do with just sort of being gone over. Just go over the oil can and the grease gun, really. That's the main thing that we're going to be doing with that one is... and it's always good to do that before you start. You just run over it with the grease gun, make sure it's all ready, and then off you go. And yes, there are those who would argue that it should have been fully greased up before we parked it up. But I would counter-argue that with the fact that it's been parked up for quite a long time outside in the rain. And so the grease may have started to deteriorate a little bit. It wouldn't hurt just to pump through some fresh grease into those joints just to make sure that everything is working absolutely perfectly on it. So we'll bring this one over here. Just give it the once over very quickly. There you go. Put you over to there. And how you doing? No, I don't want you. Right, well that's actually in tip-top condition. Tip-top, absolutely perfect. Smacked beautifully It's lip-smackingly good. It really is. Now, if I run up along this way, we are coming up to 4 o'clock. We've got plenty of time for doing it. Now, I generally find the best way to do this is to zoom all the way out like that and sort of look like this. You can generally make out the tree stumps a lot easier. I don't have to do that. So if I lower that one down... Oh, this is so much better than the other tractor. Look at it. I can shunt around. I can move it impudently around the place without any issues whatsoever. I can even leave it on the ground while I'm driving around. I mean, not that that's... Well, I don't suppose it actually makes much difference. I could come up here and I could do a little bit of mowing up on this bit up here, but I don't actually intend to do that because of the amount of time that it takes to go through and do things like that. Now, we do have... That's a stump. I've got that little bit there. I really don't like these bits. I'll put you over there, but this stump grinder is not the best one for getting those bits. We'll see if we can get it. That's just the last of the ones that I did with the chainsaw, and we struggle to do them. You've got to sort of lift it up and down like that in order to make... Oh, it's done it. It has now done it. And there's another one here. So, I've already just grabbed that one. Yeah, so we've got our brand new tractor working in the field already, and it's like child's play. It really is. It's making this look so easy, so simple, just gracefully sliding over all of these tree stumps without any issues whatsoever. There is no problems here. Nothing to see here, folks, at all. I mean, yeah, going up the steep hill with it running does appear to put a little bit of a strain on it. But not much. It's still going. I mean, the other tractor would have ground to a halt by now, and now I'm trying to get up over those. This is not going to like that, but if I do it like that, and then back down over... Okay, that works. That works beautifully. There. Alright, I'll stop it a second. Just to go up there. Onto the next bit. Yes, that's how... That's now we're talking. That's what we want. Bring you through there. I'm curious if we're going to be... Like, because we're working on such a steep hill, I suspect that we're going to end up leaving quite a lot of stumps under the ground after we're done with this. That is a slight concern of mine, is the number of stumps that are going to be left under the ground. We will be able to sort of test it a little bit by using the tool for the landscaping mod. Not the mod, just the landscaping feature. If we can use the landscaping feature a little bit, we will at least be able to test where some of the stumps are left over. And that is going to help us quite a bit. Let's get you down there. And coming down here, so we've got quite a few of them down here, like this. We'll turn you round that way and then back up here. Like that. Takes them out quite nicely. So I've got a little loop that I've gone round here, so I'll try and get all the tree stumps in the middle. I absolutely don't mind about... I'm just going to cut all the grass off, or just leave this thing on the ground for the most part. I mean, yeah, coming up the hill, it's probably easier if I don't, but certainly going down the hill, I can just leave the thing running. A lot easier doing it like that. You round there, and there. I got two just to my right, I can see. One there, and the next one over. There, like that. One. Is that both of them? Yeah, that's both. Right, and then back round this way. Ooh, 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 ooh. Steady. Steady now. Bring that through a little bit further, and then I've got two of them there. Like that. Back up a little bit. I got a big long line of stumps over that side. This is definitely going a lot faster than it went using the Deutz to do it. And I do like that. I like that we're able to do this a lot quicker. I mean, honestly, this is probably my least favorite part. When you're creating new fields out of forests, this is absolutely in the game my single least favorite part. When it comes to real life doing this sort of work, never actually used a stump grinder. Like, I want to lift that one up like that so that I make sure I get that piece there, like that. Real life, you would be digging these stumps out using a well, some people will be able to rip them out with a bulldozer, and that is one way of doing it. Other times you would use an excavator to do it, a 360-degree excavator, and honestly, that is my favorite method. Using an excavator to go along and dig tree stumps out, I really like that job. That is a lot of fun. So if you've got several big tree stumps that you want to lift out and you're using an excavator to do it, I could quite happily spend all day doing that. Mainly because of just it feels like it's a lot of fun doing destruction work with excavators, like knocking buildings down and things like that. Ripping tree stumps out, the great thing with it is that when you're digging the excavator bucket in around the tree stumps, you are actually ripping through quite a few of the roots in that, and you're frequently hearing these roots being ripped through, and it's quite noisy. It can be quite noisy. It's like you're ripping through quite a lot of these and making quite a lot of racket with it. It makes it a lot of fun. It really does. It's like it's very satisfyingly destructive. It's brilliant. I really do enjoy doing that. All the cracking of the roots and ripping through them and then hauling out all the stumps and leaving them in big piles. It's a lot of fun. I've only ever done it once. I'm talking about it like I've done this a lot. I've only ever done it once with like a dozen tree stumps. They weren't very big, and it wasn't a very big excavator, but I've seen videos of bigger scale stuff being done, and that looks even more fun. I know for a fact that it would be more fun, because the bigger the excavator, the more fun I have driving it. I really do. I really like driving the larger excavators, and I don't very often get a chance to do it. I have occasionally, but not very often. And it's absolutely wonderful. It is, honestly, you know, everybody has like got a little dream of things that they'd like to do if they got obscene amounts of money. Now, many of you know that one of my dreams is to like get a small holding and be able to run it and like do all of the stuff that I talk about. But the main thing with doing something like that is that it would be pretty much all small-scale stuff. I wouldn't really be able to do anything different than just small-scale stuff. Now, I've got a piece here that's struggling to... Oh, that's gone now. But one of the things that I would like is to have enough money to be... and enough land as well, to be able to have a slightly larger not like a little mini excavator. I'm not talking about like a 1.5, 2-ton excavator. I'm talking about 10-ton plus. I mean, even a 10-ton one is not very big by a lot of people's standards. You'd be looking at 20, 30, 40 tons even. But yeah, I'm at least looking at this realistically. A second-hand 10-ton excavator is something that could actually be possible to achieve in my lifetime. You know, if you're looking at like the really big stuff, that's a lottery win, right? That's fantasy land, especially considering I never buy lottery tickets. So yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. I think maybe Sen does buy a lottery ticket every now and then. I'm not really sure though. But anyway, it's not something that's going to happen, a massive, huge, great big thing, but something like a 10 or a 10 to 15 ton second-hand excavator from somewhere. That's a possibility. Later in life, that is definitely a possibility, and it would be so much fun. Of course, I would take videos of myself driving it, and I would post them onto my YouTube channel. That would probably be, like, I've always thought that if I did actually get to the stage where I've got a small holding and I'm sort of farming that, I have often said that if I did do that, I wouldn't stop doing YouTubing. And I wouldn't stop doing gaming YouTubing, although I would do less games than I do now. But what I would also do is I would start posting videos of my life on my small holding, and my life as my farm, and start posting up stuff about that as I go along. So you'd get both. You'd get some gaming and you'd get some life of the smallholder as well, which I personally would really like to do that. I don't know whether anybody... I know that some of you would like to watch it, because some of you have already said yes, you would, because I have talked about it previously. Yeah, it would definitely be an interesting thing to go and do. I'm not sure quite what I would do, to be honest. You know, that's the sort of thing that you think about for a while, and you think, well, that would be a really good idea, and then you think about it a bit more and think, oh, I don't know, maybe not. That one might not be such a good idea. Maybe we'd try something different. I mean, I did think that maybe it'd be a good idea to have some sheep on a small holding, but honestly, I'm not that fond of sheep. They spend all their time trying to die, and you spend most of your time with a set of shears in your hand, trying to cut the wool off of their tail end before they get themselves covered with maggots, because they've gotten themselves really, really mucky on their tail ends. That's literally, looking after sheep is trimming their tail ends. That's all you do. And very occasionally you stick some drench in the front end, just to keep them reasonably healthy, and then you get the wool off of the whole sheep once a year. And that's looking after sheep. I mean, lamb is one of my favourite meats to eat, but honestly, looking after the sheep themselves, it can be a lot of work. Goats, on the other hand, goat is very nice meat to eat as well, but they're a lot less work. There's a lot less work involved with looking after goats than it is looking after sheep, so I'd probably keep goats. That would be the thing I think I might do, is look after goats instead of sheep, and then, yeah, you got a small ruminant animal. That would, so it would still kind of count, sort of, almost towards, it'd be almost, they're almost sheep, aren't they, really? They are almost sheep, is the goats. And I feel that would count, and maybe some cows if there's room. Cows, they're different. It's an altogether different experience looking after cows than it is looking after sheep. Sometimes they can be hard work, but generally, cows are... It's not quite so much with the manual work looking after sheep, looking after cows. Cows are a rather different ball game. Sheep, you just sort of grab them, you tip them up, and you do what you need to do with them. Cows, on the other hand, you can't really grab a cow and tip it up and do things. You got to go about it a whole different way. Right, I think I've done enough of this for now. We've spent quite a long time going through them. I'm thinking we've cleared a lot of the hillside of tree stumps. I'm sort of zooming out here a little bit, trying to have a look. I know that I've got, like, there's a whole load of them right here. But, oh, there's one right there. I can see one over in the middle. Once we've gone through and done everything that we think that we can see here with these tree stumps, we'll then go round and use the landscaping tool, and just, we can use that to, like, double check where any stumps remaining are. See if there's any above the ground. We might actually go through and use it to mark out where underground ones are, and then we'll get the Place Anywhere mod going again, and then use that to dig up the tree stumps. And we could go through, we could dig up these tree stumps and dig up tree stumps down there. I think it'd be quite a good thing to do. It's like, find all the tree stumps that we don't have, and dig the whole lot up and clear everything out. But anyway, I have run out of time for today, so if you've enjoyed this episode, then please head down below and give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.